from the 16th of December to the 3rd of January. This will apply specifically to all of the Eastern Cape, as well as the Garden Route district in the Western Cape. In KwaZulu-Natal, beaches and public parks.
KwaZulu-Natal what? What did you say? KwaZulu-Natal what?
KwaZulu-Natal beaches.
Toba yenzeni.
Cyril Ramaphosa saying, please do not go to KwaZulu-Natal beaches.
Guys, specifically.
Exactly.
Guys.
Wow. Hi, Xolie.
Hey, Nat. What's up?
You're sharp. I just played that because I was thinking, there's another country, a neighboring country. In a few days, we may hear the same thing.
Remixed.
But even it being a landlocked country.
We don't want people shouldn't come to our beaches. Guys. Yeah.
Oh my God. But on a real, who would have thought? I mean, I don't know why I keep getting surprised with 2020.
Right?
I thought now we would be talking about the pandemic in the past.
Guys.
Things, but it seems things are sort of like tightening up.
They are literally unfolding because there's now another strain of... Did you not see that?
No.
There's now another strain of coronavirus. So they started obviously vaccinating people.
Yes.
So there's now another strain. We are going to tier 3.
Yes.
Like, I don't know, is it Wednesday or something?
Yeah, 16. Yeah, same time as
these guys. Yeah. So new strain and all this business. Let me see if I can find it.
Oh my God.
The health minister announced it earlier today.
In the UK?
In the UK. And Takona, it's more rampant.
What?
Rampant? It's more rampant. Is that the right word?
It is the right word.
Why are you laughing?
Are you serious?
I'm very serious. So it's mutating, and there's now questions about whether is it going to affect the vaccine. It's more serious. It spreads faster than the other strain that we've had. So a new variant of COVID-19 in the UK is believed to be behind the fastest spread of infections in southeast England.
Woo.
Yeah. So It's getting tough, man. Like,
stay safe, guys.
Stay safe. Sanitize.
Mm-hmm.
Wear your masks.
Mm-hmm.
Also talk on that. There's someone who was saying that, it's also important that people
condomize.
Wear condoms.
I think it was Tower from 6 foot weight.
Is that what he said?
I think we got dragged for saying 6 feet weight.
I never said 6 feet. I mean, 6 foot. Because it's 6 FT.
Oh.
Almost okay. 6 feet in Genesis.
I think me and Tinto saying 6 feet. But anyway, guys, in case you're joining us for the very first time, you are listening to Girl in Skies podcast with me, Natasha.
And Oli.
And I sometimes go by Nat.
I sometimes go by Michelle.
Yes.
So how do you see the way I pronounce my name?
What do you say?
Oli.
Okay.
So, sometimes I get very excited on the podcast and I don't know what I say, but someone pulled me up the other day and said to you, how do you actually say your name? And what does it mean? I was like, it means Zulu princess, Ndebele princess, whatever you want, but it's pronounced Oli. But I sometimes, I don't know what I say, but they're like, oh no, you don't always say it like Oli. I was like, oh, okay. Well,
I need to listen back to what you say.
Yeah.
With me, Xolie. But I guess maybe you're used to kind of like, I don't know. I need to listen back. But yes, guys, this is the final episode of 2020.
We're not excited at all.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to rest, to be honest. To rest, to be honest.
Yeah.
This week is the last full work week.
Yeah.
And then from next week, I've got some time off. So I'm just looking forward to that.
I'm so jealous. I'm gel.
Are you not off?
No, I'm off on the 27th, 28th, and 29th.
Okay, so in between.
December.
That's good.
And then, but nothing before. And then working after, But before I start my new job, February, I'm freelancing. So if there's anybody who needs, if you're out there, you need a PA, I can be your personal assistant, good with typing, getting coffee.
You being a PA.
What do you mean?
Being someone's assistant. Are you sure?
I've been looking for ways to make money. Yes.
Yeah, but I don't see you being anybody's PA.
What do you mean?
What?
I could come and be your PA.
Oh, heck no.
Sissy, why?
Because I'll be like, oh, Xolie, I need this done. You'll be like, no, we don't need that.
You're just talking about today.
I'm like, okay.
It's like I go for no Pinda. I was like, is she asking me the same question again within a space of 12 hours? I'm like, this one is not serious. Man, I'm dropping phone. No, Natasha's. Anyway.
Oh my god. Yes, so final episode. But before we go, just a recap on our episode 63, previous episode, which was
Creative
connections. Yes.
Yeah.
I really liked that episode.
I loved it too, actually.
Yeah, we were talking about so Tinder was there and we're just talking about, how 2020 has been like for the pod, just creatively, just the power of networking, and 2021. So I thought that was really, really, really interesting.
A very pertinent discussion. It was good. It kind of like we did a mini episode what we're going to do today, and kind of like looking at what the whole year has been like creatively and growth, and taking some good away from a really shitty year. I really enjoyed that episode too.
No, I did. Okay, so moving on, like say that this episode is just going to be just our reflections of 2020, the personal, about the pod, and wider as well. So to start off with, so you know what I've been doing? I've been listening to some of our older episodes, some of our 2020 episodes, and actually, well done.
Oh, really?
Yes,
you.
Well done, because so far we have done 36 episodes in 2020. Which, is amazing. If you think about it, last year, at the end of the year, I think we were like episode 28, but now we're 60. Episode 64.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you guys remember when we started, we were doing every other week. And then from September, we started doing weekly. And I was just thinking to myself, it feels like we've been doing weekly from the beginning.
Yeah, it does. It actually does. It doesn't feel like I don't even remember what the every other week felt like. This feels like the normal to me.
Yeah. So, just a little, so the first episode that we did in 2020.
Which was
the Minority Report.
Right.
Which is one of my favorite episodes that we did.
That's what we talked about, a bit of COVID then as well, didn't we? In healthcare.
It was before, was it before? I think it was...
It was before?
It was before COVID. If we did, we just touched on it, but it was before.
It wasn't, yeah. No, I think you're right. I think was that when we looked at the differences in accessing healthcare as as immigrants or as minorities and stuff, and how we are sometimes, women specifically when they're pregnant, they're not believed when they're saying, when they're expressing AMA symptoms and stuff. No, I remember that, and it was a good episode.
It was. And it's interesting because a lot of what because I was listening to it like today, a lot of what we said is what we saw play out even with COVID. Right? Because we know we're just talking about, migrants, because there had been conversations about how Black women, interact with the healthcare system, high mortality rates when people are giving birth. But actually, I think we added another layer talking about immigrants, how immigrants sometimes take, for example, the UK, where you have like an open healthcare system, perhaps the approach is kind of like to be thankful, almost. But anyway, if you guys have not listened to it, please do listen to the Minority Report. Would really
And
appreciate.
I also remember something specific about, and something that actually has stayed with me up until now from that episode, was how there is lack of empathy from, like, for example, from a white person looking after a black person, because they don't really know, that person. Whereas being very, I'm using that word very loosely, but that's if there was a black nurse looking after a black person, there's sometimes a little bit more empathy. And I remember you saying, like, not necessarily, because like your personal experiences had been that you found that black people or black healthcare workers, you preferred to like white or non-black healthcare workers.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I had a better experience.
Yeah. With them. Yeah. No, so that's something that I always kind of think about, I guess, when I'm doing my day to day job. So, yeah.
Okay. In that pod, because this was our, yay 2020 and everything, right? So I wanted to kind of do like a check-in with you, because we talked about, what our goals had been and what we had started doing and we were hoping to, continue doing. So, Xolie, you said that one of your goals was in 2020 that you would do less texting and try and have at least one meaningful conversation per day. So pick up the phone instead of texting. So I wanted to check, how's that going?
Okay. I think I started the year with good intentions. I think I definitely call a bit more than texts. Like, I think even you've probably noticed that. Like, I FaceTime you, even when you don't want to be FaceTimed. When I see you wilding on Twitter, you're ignoring my calls and stuff. I think I do. I have to be honest and say that, and again, you probably know this most amongst my friends, in that I get really overwhelmed with things, so, and that is why I probably fall back on texting, because it's easier. It's a way of checking in that doesn't really involve or require a lot of my attention. So otherwise, if there's just like loads of calls coming in, I'm just like, oh my goodness, like make it stop. So, but yeah, I think I'm a lot better. I think I'm finding that balance. I don't say I have found the balance, but I think I'm finding the balance of putting people and voices and faces above texting. No,
I think you do, because you and our other friend, y'all love FaceTiming. Like, I've never met, like, you two FaceTime a lot.
Who?
Our friend, our mutual friend. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And actually, I think I first saw it from you guys, like when you used to FaceTime each other and like I would be there.
But she is like, and I don't think she's as bad as me though.
No. She's not bad. No, it's a good thing. Like, okay. I've learned.
You're more open to it.
No, yeah, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but you guys literally, like, I think I don't know if it's a love language or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
it is.
You FaceTime.
Yeah.
And it's funny to me about texting, because both of you actually, you're better in 3D. Like, you're better visually, you're better like around.
Yeah.
Like, like, I don't know why you like texting. Because you're very direct. And I think you should stop texting. Actually.
Okay.
And then do you know what mine was?
What was
Get
yours?
more sleep.
Well, that clearly hasn't happened.
Oh my gosh.
You're terrible.
I am very terrible. I am so bad.
Why is that? I know, listen, I've heard the whole, like, I'm a creative.
I think I just need to be more disciplined. I think I feel like I let my mind wander, like, and I can stay. I think I do have an addictive personality, because then I will stay, even like on Clubhouse, like I'm doing this for hours. So I really need to train my mind. It is bad. It is bad. Okay.
But wait, no, let's not just kind of stop there. What is it that you need to do to kind of get yourself sleeping better? Because you can't just leave that conversation in the air. What is your action plan?
Okay, so I need to... Okay, another thing that I realized today is the impact of like not going to the gym and like my physical sort of exercise. Whereas before, because I had so much... Okay, let me take a step back, then I'll go back to the gym thing. With me, because I'm someone who's just like I just go with the flow. Like I don't like being contained, whatever. But actually, I feel like work, like that whole going to work, having lunch, that structure was actually helpful for me.
Yeah.
Because I would be able to kind of like, you know, lunchtime, I take my walks, or lunchtime, you know, I'm like, okay, I'm intentional about what I'm eating, come back from home, go to the gym.
Yeah.
And I think that's really, whereas now I'm like, I feel tired. But then I was thinking to myself, oh, you know what? I'm restless. I feel fatigued. I feel tired. But actually, I think it's because I'm
lack of exercise and not putting yourself through that.
Exactly. So I restarted again today.
Oh, that's good.
So I really think that has been and funny enough, because I always used to say, and I think I probably used to say to you that because before, like I was on this whole like regime and like over 2 years, like I had lost like a significant amount of weight, which I've gained back plus
well, listen, we all have.
And but I always just say, for me, going to the gym is conditioning my mind.
Yeah, 100%.
Right?
Yeah.
And it makes me kind of make better decisions, even like better food decisions and better activity decisions. So I feel like I really want to, I don't know how we'll navigate this whole, because in the summer, that's why the walking thing, the night ride was, but now it's so cold.
It's miserable.
Going out and working out in the house is just, but I need to just kind of find a way to get into,
Okay. No, that's fair. Well, listen, and I'll hold you accountable to that. I think this is something we've talked about before as well. That, you know, let's not wait for the new year.
No. Yeah.
Okay.
I today was my day one.
Okay. Yay. To getting started. That is the most important thing.
And what was your favorite episode
or
moment of 2020 in the podcast?
It's difficult to say. Like, you know, it's like asking me to say, to pick my favorite child, so to speak. I have loved so much, like, and there's been so much stuff that we've put out there. Like there is the interviews, the interviews with Sunyati, with the cook-off guys, with Nkosana Moyo. I don't know. I can't say there's been a favorite moment. Let me have a look and see if there is something that
stood out to you.
That stood out to you. How about you? Like, whilst I'm looking.
Do you know what? I think similar to you, there was so many. It's really hard to say. It's really hard to say like what like a favorite moment was. So one of the episodes that I really enjoyed was the one that we did, which is I May Destroy You, where we're talking about sort of like sexual assault and kind of like those almost gray areas. I remember we're talking about, you know, things that we're now looking back at and sort of questioning, you know, being young and being asked out by older guys.
Yes.
So the reason I don't know if enjoy is the right word, is because I did not want to do that episode. I did not want to do it. And it took, we kept pushing it back. Like, I remember like when we got the Nkosana Moyo interview, I was like, oh, we got the Nkosana Moyo interview, so we don't need to do that.
Yeah.
Please.
Literally, it was with every episode. We're like, oh no, let's do this. I was like, Natasha, we need to talk about this. And then you'd be like, oh, but this is topical. I'm like, Natasha, we need to do this episode. So, but no, I understand though. It was difficult. And I felt like we, as women, as Zimbabwean women, as African women, it was something that we needed to kind of definitely have our opinions and our voices on, because it's something that is, it's something that unfortunately happens more, you know, and whether from sexual violence, whether it's from a woman being harassed on the street for what she's wearing to more gruesome acts, these things happen, and they all have, they all impact women and men. Like, let's not just say it's just women, in really negative ways. But do you remember? I'm just looking at these episodes. Do you remember February? Valentine's is coming. Do you remember? See, Valentine's is coming.
Exactly.
Where's your boyfriend? So that was fun.
That was a fun episode.
I also really liked which one? We're not really strange. Oh gosh, no, honestly, I can't. It's so hard for me to pick.
That we're not really saying is my worst. If I could delete it off this pod, I would.
Remind me, that is the one where we ended up.
I would.
Why? Why though? No, remind me.
Because I did the thing that I had intentionally said I'm not going to do in this podcast,
right. Okay.
Which is be open, be vulnerable. Like, so many people hit me up after, and I was just like, you know what? I don't know. Like, I feel like I am too comfortable with sadness and just like brokenness, and I'm like, oh God, I don't want that narrative anymore. But it's just like, I was just like, oh God, because it was supposed to be a fun episode.
I remember,
and then it turned into like, oh my God.
But there's an element as well, like we're being vulnerable and we're being open. You don't know how many people, just your experiences, how many people have then kind of been like, oh, you know what? Yes, this is something that I can relate to, and thank you for talking about this. And I think that's kind of the feedback that we got. So that thank you for bringing this up. Thank you for talking about this, because it's so easy at times to put on a face and pretend that all is okay when, you know, when we have issues.
Oh God. Yeah. But anyway, so just shout out to us.
Right.
Shout out to us, because I'm going through all of this. So I just wanted to sort of say, again, guys, we have at this point like 64 episodes for you to listen back to, catch up on. If there's some episodes that you skipped, you can do. So just quickly, just a quick run through of like, so we did Minority Report. There was the ghosting one, Valentine's. We talked about these other ones. And shout out to Mix. So when this lockdown thing was happening and we were trying to figure out, like, literally, I think we've said, like, I thought like we're not gonna, like, we're only gonna be able to record in the studio. And Mix came through and he did like a special mix for us. So shout outs to Mix for that. And then also Fazai Mahere. Thank you so much. Advocate Mahere, for joining us, and thank you to her team that made that happen. And then we had Alex Magaisa. Thank you so much for the conversation. And then the guys from Cook Off.
Yeah, thank you guys. It was just amazing. And then we had the guys.
Oh, okay, that is one of my favorites.
So we had Tavo, Lee, Ndaba, and
Mto.
Guys, and a special shout out to Mto.
Yeah.
Because if it wasn't for Mto and his ability and his work, you know. So again, I know we shouted him out the last time.
Yeah, but it deserves shout out, because Mto, like all the Zoom stuff that you guys were watching with the interviews, he made it happen.
He really
and
did.
guys, we, you know what?
Come.
We open invites. Please
come
again.
Come back. Yeah.
And then
We had the Gold Diggers with Sunyati.
Yeah.
So, we talked about the Gold Diggers by Sunyati. Again, an amazing book, which you read till the end. Was it like your first book?
It was my first fiction book that I've read in years. It was my first fiction book. Well, that I listened to because it was an audio.
Yeah.
I loved it. I can't wait to get into A Family Affair. I've got the Kindle version, but I'm low-key hoping, I don't know how long it takes for audio to
do it. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Because I'd love that.
And then our favorites.
Dr. Nkosana Moyo. Hey.
After this interview.
No, it was good. I was watching it the other day, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I loved it. I wanted to post it, but then I was like, I know how you feel about it.
Do you know, like, I like, sometimes I will listen back to chunks. Sometimes I'll listen to the whole thing.
Yeah.
But this one, I left it. I left it untouched. Sorry, that's me.
Yeah, that was the Sunyati one.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, shout out to Dr. Nkosana Moyo.
Shout out.
And again, like we said before, thank you so much for taking your time. Thank you to his team who were like, yeah, they were just on it. But yeah, just a good conversation to have. I think it'll be interesting to listen back to this sort of like a year to kind of like, because sometimes, yeah. But on the Nkosana Moyo one, right. So not talk about Dr. Nkosana Moyo.
Yeah.
Do you remember that we were supposed to have another interview?
Yes.
Can I confess?
Yes.
I am so glad we did not.
So am I.
Yeah?
So 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
I am so glad.
Do you know, it's so weird that you said that, because that's exactly what I was thinking right now. Because I was thinking that would have been in a few episodes' time, like that's what would have been talking about.
Yeah.
But I'm really glad that we didn't.
So I don't and for some reason, do you remember, like,
it was just a lot of hassle.
Because it wasn't even the hustle, because if we'd pushed it, we would have got it.
No, but I just feel like, I don't know how to explain it. I feel like there wasn't, I don't want to say too much because, but that whole like business, like, can you come on and start a thing for them? I was like, wait a minute, like, what's going on? Like, conversation is now like in the
all
wilderness.
I have to say, 2020 is the year I lost hope for Zimbabwe. It would have been our biggest interview.
It would have.
It would have done the numbers. But actually, you know what? I am glad we did not do it. Maybe at another time. But I'm so glad we did not do it, because we also have to think about the integrity of what we do.
Yeah, for sure.
So anyway. So if your people are listening, like, please be more serious. Then maybe you can come back on. You can come on. And then we had the motherhood again. One of my favorite with Unoti.
Yeah.
Guys, listen to that episode.
Yeah,
please. And then we had the Boys of Zimbabwe.
Boys of Zimbabwe.
Yes, thank you to Mukase and Nick for that. Oh, and then you take this one.
So, and then we had the Inheritance with Twapem Tila.
Yeah.
Our Malawian podcaster who talked to us about finance.
Thank you for sorting that out, Goli, because we've always said we want to branch out and get more like listeners from Southern Africa, and actually we did. So thank you so much, Twape. And then the man of the moment.
The man of the momento.
Tinto Linto. Yes, the filling station. And the recent episode that we've had. But no, man, Tinto's doing bits. He is
kudos to him, man.
Doing bits. When are you gonna go on his pod?
To talk about what?
I don't know. Why you sounded so much like Tam? That's so funny. That's so cute, actually.
He needs to get a voice changing thing, and then we'll go on.
Yes. So we've thanked the guest, and then Koli, did you want to?
So financially, like, I mean, we have. Do you want me to go through all of them
for 2020? Yes, please.
Okay, so for 2020, guys, if you want to hit us up, buy us a coffee. If you want to just support the podcast, please, our PayPal details are on all our episodes. So whilst this is loading, so for 2020, we have received money from in January, we had can I say this one? We had Tabo, who gave us money, and Begi Temba, who also gave us like Begi Temba. BK has consistently, from the time we started at the start of the year, gives us a little bit of cash. So thank you to you guys. We've also had Tabo again in February. We had Tabo again in April. We had Naughty in May. Ayanda, thank you so much, Ayanda, my little sister. In June, we had, I hope I'm saying this right, Boka Moyo, or Boka Moyo.
No Sizwe.
No Sizwe gave us money as well. Tabo again. And then we had in July, that's our first advertised episode. I've forgotten which one it was.
Episode 50.
Episode 50. So we got money from Bulawayo Groceries for doing some advertising for him. So thank you to him. We had Nyasha Tsasha Makoni gave us money as well in August. Vanessa, Sipo Matao, Terence Moyana, beg your pardon, Damien Dube. I'm going to count your recent contribution as well.
I was waiting.
Natasha Fuyane, thank you so much for your contribution. Yes, there is a little button here, issue refund. I am not issuing your refund.
So guys, okay. So,
thank you, people.
So first of all, thank you guys. Like your money helps supplement our production costs, like studio, like all the stuff that we have to do.
Yeah.
And so thank you. It just lightens the burdens for us.
It really does.
Okay, I'll leave it.
No, Sissy, don't leave it.
So I was testing. So guys, right? Guys, please be the judge of, like, I was on Buy Me a Coffee, right? So we've got the Buy Me a Coffee, and how it works is you buy us coffee, but the money comes to our PayPal. It's just it's literally like the price of a coffee that you would get, right? So I was testing because someone had said, oh, they were having issues. So I was like, let me test. Then I was like, oh, let me go. I was like, oh, buy a coffee. So I bought a coffee.
Thank you.
For Galen Skies.
Yes.
I got the email saying, oh, thank you for supporting Galen Skies. Then I then wrote to this person who says she wants to be a personal assistant to somebody. And I said to her, hey, I was just testing Buy Me a Coffee. Can you refund my coffee? What did you say?
I was looking for the text.
Do you know, you said again, like, God. I was like, I was just testing.
So I was like, what did I say? I was like, no. I laugh out loud. It's like, I mean, you could have put £30. It's just like, can I speak to the manager, please? I'm like, I am the manager.
So this is the person who wants to be someone's personal assistant.
Thank you for your contribution. In fact, you should have tried a little bit, You should have tried with an extras, just double digits, or even 3. Huh?
All right. Anyway, it's fine. It's fine. But no, guys, again, thank you so much. And like Xolie said, if you would like to continue supporting us, links are on our social media. Buy Me a Coffee /Gallons, guys. Really, really appreciate it. And if you cannot do that, please share the podcast. Like retweet, social media sharing. We equally appreciate that as well.
Sure.
Okay, and then just quickly, I was thinking about like some of the viral moments that have come. So some of the sort of viral social media, or I guess moments that stood out to us in 2020. So I was thinking about this. Let me try and bring it up. Do you remember the child pastor?
I remembered it when you posted it. I was like,
Rise and shine and give all his glory. Praise the living God. I am a star. It's a must. I rise and shine. I'm going to arise and shine.
I loved
glory.
it.
Such confidence. Can you imagine? Guys. And what else? What else?
And then the Netflix rage in 2020.
You, Netflix.
Remember, Love is Blind.
Wow. Do you know, I saw a picture of them recently. I've forgotten it's Cameron and who?
Lauren.
They're still married 2 years after the show.
Wow.
You know, but it was just find love. You know, I think it's just the it was Love is Blind, isn't it? It was just the ridiculousness of it all. But then we spoke about it and then you're like, it's not really ridiculous. It's like
long distance.
It's like long distance, but you don't see each other. But they'd never seen each other. You know, they're dating through a wall. And then Lauren found out that Cameron was actually a white man, good man. And she was very vocal about all things black. And she was like, how is it going to fit in with my family? So it was just quite interesting to see all that unravel and really come together. And that they're still together after that show is quite nice. So long and happy marriage to them.
I know some people try to simulate, do like a simulation of Love is Blind with a house party.
Locked rooms.
And it didn't work.
People, you then go into house party and find that there's 2 people in a room. And you'd be like, knock, knock, can we come in?
Apparently, rumor has it some people deleted the app and never went back.
Are you serious? I mean, I never went back.
You guys, wow, 2020 has been so long.
Do you remember Carol Baskin?
So I have not seen Tiger King.
Get Out.
I have not.
How?
I know.
Oh my goodness.
I haven't. I will do.
No, you should. But I don't know again if it was just that wave, wasn't it? We were all at home. We were all just chilling out, and then it just kind of gathered a lot of traction. Gathered a lot of traction as time went on. And then there was, I suppose, Black Lives Matter, Zimbabwean Lives Matter, not to put it all under one umbrella. But we had Ahmaud Arbery, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, all killed. And, you know, just the social injustice of it all, about the life that Black people live, you know, the inequality. And really all these things kind of rose the movement of Black Lives Matter, because people were at home again, more attuned to what was going on. And I think, I personally think, you know, and I'm sure all these Black people who have died, and these are just names that we know of. I'm sure there's a lot more who die and don't actually get the airplay. But because of all this, I think it's opened or made changes for us, even in the United Kingdom, in terms of where we are working. There's now talk about diversity and inclusion, things that I didn't know existed before this. You know, there's talk about all these external companies and all people who are just living on, who are all about promoting diversity and inclusion. So I think it was a tough time. And right now, despite Corona, there is some people who are reaping the benefits of it. And I don't know what you think about this. So I put on here, you know, Kelechi's chat shit get banged, yeah.
Okay, let me bring it up. Then I'll come back to the BLM. Oh, it's quite long. Okay.
Yeah, they'll just play a snippet of it.
Speed run done for today. I'm going to try and say this in like the smoothest way possible, and hoping that the presence that resides in all things, all being, speaks through me with wisdom, but letting me speak very much in my voice. So a few people have messaged me about that video of the racist being punched on the tube. And they're like, oh, what do you think about this? Surely this isn't the way that we handle racists. And you're seeing on TV as well, they're like, violence isn't the answer. Twitter, again, you know, surely violence isn't the answer. Well, is violence not the answer? When we're looking at the Western world in particular, how is violence not the answer, where that's what you've gotten top marks for to pretty much every question when it concerns humanity? How did you get the riches that you have now? Was it not through violence? Was it not through colonization? Was it not through the transatlantic slave trade? Was it not through raping and pillaging and then keeping other people's things in museums? How did you do that? Was that not through violence? So if you've been using a particular answer to get all of these things throughout the ages, why won't people join you and use that answer too? This guy was on the tube talking about, well, racism is popular now, isn't it? It's getting popular now. So people are becoming emboldened by bigotry, seeing people like Trump and Boris leading countries, Bolsonaro leading countries. They're like, rah. So, you know, racism, bigotry, all of this works. So why don't we do it too? We can do it as normal, everyday people. So people are doing that, forgetting that they can get clotted in their throat. Yeah? I don't know where it says it in the Bible, and I'm going to try and remember this correctly. But somewhere in the Bible, if I might be paraphrasing here, but it says something like, chat shit, get banged. Yeah? If you chat shit, expect to get banged in the face. And I'm not necessarily here saying that violence is the answer, so someone message me or tweet
I don't know which part of the Bible it's
Yeah, I may be paraphrasing here a bit. But so I just feel like there's, after the whole Black Lives Matter, there's been, people feel like emboldened to talk about their experiences. You know, I feel like there's been a platform to kind of really share what it's like in different industries. Like I know there was a few actors, a few people who did like reality TV shows kind of really coming up and talking about how they were asked to do their hair in a certain way, asked to the lighting, not showing their complexion and all these sort of things. And it made me think, I was like, people like Trump who have come onto public platforms and been very sort of blatant about the way that they speak. You know, I was listening to someone who was saying to you know what, the reason why Trump is able to get so many followers is because he literally speaks to people in a very simple language. But I think in his simplicity of the language that he uses, he's now becoming very blatant and matter of fact. So when he's racist, he's 100% racist. You can see that. So things like, okay, Letty who come on and then they're like, oh, you know what? People, you know, you have all these racists who are coming on and talking about these things and complaining about getting punched. And for her to put, like, I think that had like over 30K like views and also retweets and whatever it was. So it gained a lot of traction. But I feel like in a way, all this has happened, putting Trump and everything under one roof, is that it's given us a platform to kind of be able to speak and to speak freely. I don't know, how do you feel?
No, I totally hear you. The only thing that I will say is you are right that it was the first time that I saw heard like conversations being had in like corporate spaces and spaces that I never expected. But what's lagging behind is something
Action.
to back up the words. So like just structurally speaking, right? We've said all of this, but if you watch closely, I don't know, I just feel like, because even recently, you know, like there were MPs in the UK who said they do not want to take unconscious bias training. They refused. And then I was reading somewhere where like in some places, like unconscious bias training is now becoming optional. Whereas in most places it was always mandatory that you take it. But so don't you think that's a retaliation of what was happening over the summer? But we may not be paying as close attention
to it. You're right. Yeah.
And then they're using these, it's, you know, like the Candace Owens of this world.
Oh my God, that woman.
There's a lady called this MP here called Kemi. Like she said something that was so damaging, like in Parliament, where she said she does not believe in the critical race theory. I think we had a conversation about which basically is, you know, links how most things are really sort of like racist structurally. And so now you have black faces, and I use that double entendre, like saying all these things to undermine
Our
real
experiences,
struggles.
Yeah.
And it's so hard because then someone else will be like, but so-and-so says this and they're black too. So I just feel like it's such a frustrating, but I agree with you that it opened up the space in a way that it didn't. Oh, just quickly from me.
Yeah.
On the when Kelechi was like, oh, I don't know what it says in the Bible. So I was looking at there's this guy that I follow called Dustin, like he goes by Ed Look at Dustin on Twitter. So on his pinned tweet, he's had that for ages. He's got don't start no shit, it won't be no shit. And it's Proverbs 26 verse 17. And Proverbs 26 verse 17, I had to find like the version that is, says like one who grabs a stray dog by the ears is someone who rushes into a quarrel not their own. And that's the New International Version.
Makes sense.
Type thing. So I thought that was funny. No, I like the Kenneth Bean.
Should we go to 7? I don't know the time.
Okay, just quickly, I wanted to. Obviously, we've talked about Zimbabwean Lives Matter again. Guys, if you could listen to our episode with Sata in the morning, I think that was And I know we have to quickly go. And then there was this moment in history. I'm gonna just bear with me as I wait. There's this moment in history. Hold on.
Superstars confirming that while the two were briefly separated, Jada entered a relationship with singer August Alsina.
I think you need to say clearly what happened.
Yeah, and then I got into an entanglement with August. That's what I said.
An entanglement?
Yes.
An entanglement.
And we never saw the word entanglement the same ever again.
Entanglementation.
Yeah. And then wanted to Insecure, but we'll come back. That was my favorite show of 2020. Anyway.
Yeah. And and thank you for everybody who hosted, and thank you for you started the whole platform where people came and talked about it and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was great. And then, the highs come with some lows, unfortunately. And we had a lot of losses, celebrity, personal losses. I think Kobe Bryant was, and these are just obviously people who come to mind. Kobe Bryant and Gianna Bryant, who died in a helicopter crash. This was I think early, just at the start of COVID. Then we had Chadwick. Then we had Ginimbi, Gringo, and so many more. And these are just people who I feel, for me, from a celebrity point of view, had such an impact, had made me really kind of stop and kind of oh my goodness, this is actually happening. And I remember we talked about Kobe Bryant and Gianna, and obviously they weren't the only ones in that helicopter crash. There was a few other people who died on that day. It's just, when we talk about 2020 being tough, I think this is just one leg of it. There's a lot of other things that have gone on. Unemployment has obviously affected people. But to focus really on people's lives, because people, at the end of the day, that is what matters. Is somebody who has an impact on you, on other people, on I think it's been tough. In Zimbabwe, there's been obviously looking at the healthcare. We know that is it 0.3% of the total workforce are Zimbabweans. This is from NHS England. That's a lot. And there was a lot of nurses who died with COVID, working frontline, working as working on the wards, or whether getting, having conditions themselves and then getting COVID. It's just been hard, and we are obviously thinking about each and every person who has been impacted by death this year. It's been tough.
Yeah.
It
And
really
just-
has been tough.
Just like coming closer to home.
Mm.
Like it's so I think I've mentioned this page before on this podcast called the Nap Ministry.
Mm.
This lady who just talks about rest and
Mm.
slowing down and
Mm-hmm.
all that. And one of the things that she posted that really that got to me was she was talking about collective grief. She was saying so much has happened in 2020, but like we've never taken a day out collectively, whether it be as individual nations or as a world, to be like, like in the UK, 60,000 plus people have lost their lives due to COVID. In America, 300,000 plus. I was trying to find the latest Zim numbers, but I couldn't find them. But again, too many people have died. And it's just like all these things are just happening. And I really feel like, I remember one time I tweeted and I was joking, but actually like a lot of people responded because I was like, you know what? Can we just do a Zoom where we all cry? Like literally where we'll just come and all cry. Because it's just been one after the other. You go on Twitter, next thing you know, like someone, like people are posting, my parent has died, this. And then it's just been, so for me, I'm just like, like 2020 has been a lot. Like just collectively, I think as a people, and just to like what you were saying about the medical people in the medical field,
it's not just
in the
nurses.
UK who have passed away. So the latest figures, so in July of 2020, the Zimbabwean embassy reported that 37 Zimbabweans had died.
Wow.
That was in July, right?
Yeah.
So the figures are probably higher.
Mm-hmm.
And also, we have to note that it's underreported. Yeah. Because these are 37 people that the embassy knows about. And why would the embassy know is when people make repatriation queries, right? But think about the people where the queries were not made and people were buried here. Yeah. And also think about the people who, so many Zimbabweans now have dual citizenship, right? Yeah. So you probably wouldn't go to the embassy at all. So it's very underreported. So that's 37 families that we know of that have been impacted. And we've talked about the inequalities, people working relentlessly, people feeling like they have to, feed their families, people feeling like work is a lifeline because if I don't work, what happens to my stay, right? What happens to my papers? And again, not even counting people at home, but I just think it's, for me, just my heart always goes out when people, I don't know, when people lose their lives away from home, if that's not what they had wished and intended. So I think there's that. Again, it feels vacuous to say your prayers and thoughts, but just really wanted to kind of slow it down and just really take this moment and say, if you are listening and you are that family, like truly, 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 like our thoughts are with you. Yeah. Truly, truly. And obviously, like personally, like, yo.
Let's not cry at the last feature of the episode, please.
I know. Did you want to, like.
Yeah, it's just been, so like when I read the notes and I saw Lindy's name on there. And so funny, I've been thinking about her recently. My little sister who passed away, just right in the crux of COVID. Young life, young girl, so full of life. Life cut so short as well. Tough.
Yeah.
And
we've talked about Tusmilo. It's when I was coming, like in the car, I was crying. I was in tears. I don't even know what I was crying about, but I know I thought of Smilo. Like yo, even, like, remember even when I came to your house and I was like, oh, that's Lindy, like the picture. And it's just like, there's a part that's like, so Tina, we're here, right? And I don't care. There's nothing anyone can tell me. There's nothing anyone can say to say, oh, it is someone's time when it's a young life. I reject that completely with every fiber of my being. I reject it completely. I know people say stuff, but I feel like people just talk because they have nothing to say. So when a young life goes, I think, like you said, we don't want to cry. And I think of another like cousin of mine who passed, and like just that sight and the fact that you're supposed to just keep going, when you have those images in your mind. So 2020 has been such a strange year. Like, so many have lost so much loved ones. And for some of you listening, like, this will be you're experiencing your first Christmas without that person, first New Year's Eve without that person, first birthday without that person, first anniversary without that person. And there are no words really to, to kind of speak to that pain, but I just wanted us to kind of hold that space here, and just kind of say, you know what, we truly are like thinking of you, and just wanted to play the song as a dedication.
Sifikile isikhathi sakho sonke besingalindelanga Inkosi yapha iphinde ithathe silungisele indawo siyeza siyeza oh siyeza Ilanga lashona usemini sawhlaba sawulawula umkhosi inhliziyo zethu bezibuhlungu silungisele indawo
Our condolences to everyone just thinking about you. And may 2021 bring us life, more life. And this is the second time I've ever listened to that song.
Really?
Because the first time I heard it, I was like, I don't ever want to listen to it. But I felt it was the appropriate song for this moment. Whew, yeah. Anyway, what do you want in closing? What do you want 2021 to feel like?
Normal.
What does normal mean?
I don't even know anymore. I'm scared to ask for too much. I want a year ago back. That craziness when we were saying that, be gone 2019. Actually, I wouldn't mind 2019 again. To be honest.
It just teaches us to be grateful. Yeah. But anyway, it just teaches us to be grateful. But we're going to close. So, hold on. Because we got to get this right. Oli, where can people find you on social media?
Oli NC on Twitter.
And I am at Malaika Diva.
On Twitter, we're at
Girl in Skies.
Instagram,
Girl in Skies.
Facebook,
Girl in Skies Podcast.
Drop us an email at
mygirlinskies@gmail.com.
if you want us to buy us a coffee.
Buy me a coffee /Girl in Skies.
Yeah.
Guys, this has been 2020 respectfully. If you got to this part of the pod, please hashtag 2020 respectfully and tag Girl in Skies. Be safe, guys. What did we say at the beginning? Sanitize? They can't hear you.
Sanitize.
No. I say sanitize.
Wear your masks.
And
And
condomize.
yes.